Hallå ja, tjena. Hi. And welcome to my little podcast. This is Friday. I just looked at it and I need to watch closer. Friday, May 8th. May 8th? 8th of May 2015. I just got home from work and I just sat down, so I'm I'll focus, promise. So hi, how are you? I hope everything is good. First up, thank you very much for all the thumbs on last week's episode. Thank you very much. I don't know, it just makes me very happy, so thank you. Oh, hur är Maj? Hi, I'm Maja. Hej, trevligt att träffas. Maja. Oh, focus, come on. You can find me as sjomajlin on Instagram and on Ravelry and on YouTube. And if you want to get in contact with me, don't hesitate to do so. I've had a pretty intense week with a lot of work since I recorded last Thursday. So it's just over a week. I had a long weekend and this week has been pretty intensive work-wise. It's been a good week, but I've had a lot to do. The weather has been, it's really cold again, and it has been some rain, so it's really starting to be green outside, even though it's cold. So there's a lot of pollen. So I've started my meds. I wanted to wait as long as I could because they make me very tired as well. So, but I've started them now, so hopefully I won't be sneezing all through the episode. But it's, excuse me, it's been an intense week in that because of that as well. Yeah, we had a knit group on Monday this week and I was knitting then. So I have some progress and I have some stuff to show you. So let's get to it. I did finish the socks. I had finished one last week. Or was it just mid-foot? Because I remember that I pulled it on to the blocker to show you the heel. But maybe I was halfway through it. Anyway, these are short ankle socks made out of the same yarn that I've been using a million times. I did not bring a ball band, but it's called strumpegarn. It's 75-25 woolen polyamide, or is it 80-20? I'm not sure. It's a self-striping and it's a sock yarn and I like it. I knit this on DPNs, my Knit Pro Carbons size 2mm. And I talked about this last time and I'm going to talk about it this time as well. I did the fish lips kiss heel, which I've said before I think looks more like a moray eel. Is that even how you say it? What I did do, so it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. It's $1 or $1.50, $1.25. Just over $1 if you're in Europe. I believe that is to do with the European tax thing. And it's well worth it. So if you haven't got it and you haven't tried it, go get it, because it's good. And I'm not giving the secret sauce away, but the pattern gives you direction to do the heel over half the number of stitches you have around your sock. So this is a 64 stitch count sock. But these sort of heels, which is it's essentially the same shape as an afterthought heel, they always tend to stretch or strain over my instep. Maybe, I don't know if I have a high instep or if it's my heel that is wide or something, but so I did try to do the fish lips kiss heel over, well, 2/3 of the stitches, but 64 is not really what's the word, divisible? Because it's not dividable, is it? That seems logic to me, but I think it's not. You know what I mean. So I did do it over 40 stitches, which is, you know, 2/3 enough. And I had done that on the longer socks that I had finished last week. But then I had only 10 stitches in the middle. And you know what I mean if you have tried it. But here I recalculated, so I have 13 on each side and 14 in the middle. And these fit so much better on my foot and on my heel. And you can see as well here on the sock blocker that there is more space over the heel. And there is no, I mean, there is some slack for the heel when it's on here, but you know what? My feet are not actually this shape. For reals. So I finished those. And then I need to go diving, I just realized. Last week I was knitting on a little something that would be, and I don't know where I have it, there. This little thing. It's out of Malabrigo sock yarn. And I knit it on size 1.75mm needles, DPNs, just round. And then a 3 needle bind off. And I have some filling in here and a lot of lavender. I was gonna say fresh lavender. It's not fresh lavender, it's dried lavender. But it's, what do you say, real lavender. It's not like any artificial thing. So that was just, you know, a simple little thing. So I keep it in, I have these small bags that I keep my different projects in within this wire basket. I have 2 of them, different sizes. So I keep it in one of them and it smells lovely. So I finished that one as well. Which is not really a big project to be bragging about, but I finished it and I like it. So those are my FOs, finished objects for this week. And then I have my first work in progress. It's this shawl that I've been showing at least 2 episodes now, I believe. It's a leaf pattern. It's a triangular shawl. So here's the middle, going down right here, and so it's symmetrical. It's the 2 sides are the same. This pattern is called Gale, and then in brackets, aka Night Songs. I don't know who it's by, but if you search for it, I believe you can find it, or else you can message me and I'll send you a link if you want to find it. I'm knitting this on 5.5mm needles, and it's very airy and I like that. And obviously you can see the yarn is striping, or maybe that's not obvious. I am not changing yarns. This is a self-striping yarn. And that yarn is, and I'm almost running out of the first ball and I have a second one. So it's the Mini Mushi, which is a single ply machine washable merino and nylon yarn. So it's 80% merino and then some nylon. Yeah, in this pink shades, which is turning out to be striping, as you saw. So I am working on that. I'm thinking I will knit, you know, use up the yarn that I have, but I will, I will try not to run out of yarn. I will try to play the yarn chicken very safely, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm almost halfway, because I'm thinking my plan is to use, you know, most of the yarn. So I'm about halfway, through this. And I'm trying to keep this balanced on my lap. Let me put it back down on the floor. So I'm working on that, the Gale shawl, and it's coming along and I like it. That is a charted lace, well, it's a lace chart that you read, and I can read lace charts, but, well, as I've said, it's been a bit of an intense week, so I have not really had the brain power, or, yeah, I don't even know. It hasn't gotten a lot of attention this week. And then I am working on this that I had started last week, yes. Which is, it's a sleeve up to there. And then it's open, so I knit it in the round up to there. And then it's open and knit in the flat over the back. And now I'm around, so I'm at the other shoulder and I will knit the sleeve. I have some more rows to go before I can join it in the round again, but that is where I'm heading. So last week I had pretty much just put the green one in, so I'm keeping track of my increases obviously here, so that I can do the same on the other sleeve. And it just turned out that was the only green one that I put in there, and then I had to do the increases here when I opened it up as well. So I had put that in just before I recorded last week, so I did knit some more in the round and then opened it up, and then I've been knitting like almost all across the back. So this has been given quite some attention this week. This is out of cotton. It's this Birgit, a baby blue-ish color, I guess. It's 100% cotton. These are 50 gram balls, and these are 165 meters. And I did run out of the first ball of yarn there, just after I had opened up from the round. So I'm guessing it will be pretty much 3 skeins for this. So it's a sleeve, and then it's across the back, and then the other sleeve. That will be about 3 skeins. And then I'm gonna pick up all around the edge and knit a border or an edge. Yeah. So that might be, I don't know how long I will make that or how wide, so. But I had 6 skeins of this from the start, so I can, I'm not gonna run out of yarn. Yeah. So obviously this has gotten a lot of love. And I want to finish this, because even though this week has been freezing, yeah, we actually had snow on Saturday. Where I live very close to the lake, Vättern, the second largest lake in Sweden. So where I live, it's a bit of a coastal climate because of the lake. So it's a bit colder in the summer, and it's a bit, well, not warmer but milder in the winter. So even though it feels like the lake is still making the air colder here, so if you go just, you know, a little bit away from the lake, it will feel warmer. But it is actually keeping the temperature above freezing. So even though it was snowing here on Saturday, the snow didn't stick, but just outside of town, like south of the town, they had like centimeters of snow. That it went away during the day, but it stuck in the morning. And that was the 2nd of May, and we had snow. That is not okay. So even though it's been a really cold week here, and we actually had snow, warmer weather is coming, and then I would want to have this finished. So I'm eager to have this finished, and that is why I've been working quite a lot on it. So those... No, I have this as well. I have a new work in progress, but I will show you one more oldie first. This is the Red Heart Detroit 100% acrylic start of a sweater, a baby sweater, or perhaps a toddler sweater. That will be for charity. It's garter, and I will knit up. Well, I will do pretty much a plus sign shape with a slit for the head in the middle, and then just fold it double and seam the underarm and the side together on both sides. So it will be a very T-shaped sweater. So it's just very straightforward, very, very simple. And sometimes that is what your brain needs. I told you last week, I believe, that I was knitting this on my fixed carbons size 3.5 millimeters. I wanted to use that needle in the next thing that I will show you, so I did move this over to 3.5 mil fixed circular Sandnes needle. Doesn't really matter, but it's not the most exciting thing, but sometimes that is what I need, at least. So I did start that, or I didn't start that. I continued on that. I did start a new project with the carbon needle, the fixed circular that I have. This is a variation on the handbrake cowl, not the handbrake scarf. The handbrake cowl by the amazing Dan Jones, with some aid from his lovely wife Kay Jones. It's a paid for pattern Ravelry. You can find it. It's by KF Jones, I believe her name is on Ravelry. Oh, I just totally lost the name of Ravelry. It was supposed originally to be a free pattern. But then they decided to charge £1 for it, and all of that £1 goes to cancer research. So it's a very worthy cause, or cost, or pound. So if you haven't bought it yet, please do, because it's a good pattern. Yeah, go get it. Handbrake cowl, and they also give you the handbrake scarf. However, this is a variation of it. So in telling you what I've done, I'm sort of giving away the secret sauce of the pattern. But since all that cost goes to cancer research, I mean, don't see this as your way of sneaking through donating £1. It's a worthy cause. You see where I'm going? Hope so. So what I did do, I skipped the border and just went right into the pattern. I believe that I changed, now I'm a bit confused, I believe that I changed the direction of the slants. The slants? Is that even a word? I believe I did anyway. And then I'm doing the purl bumps on every row. So it's a variation, and I did cast on, I believe I have 151 stitches for my cowl. So it's a variation. Oh, I had a thought. It just flashed through my mind. I hate it when that happens. I'm knitting this out of, that's the same cotton yarn as the blue bolero thingy. But this is in a lavender color. No, I don't mean lavender, I mean lilac. It's a bit pale to be lavender, I think. Or maybe I'm wrong. I think this is more lilac. Did you hear that? I hate it when it's windy. I get all crisp. I have 5 skeins, I think, of this, so I will knit on and see how long or how big I want to make this. I want to have this really, really big. And as I said, it's cotton, so I'm thinking it will be good for the summer. Yeah, so I cast this on day before yesterday, so I have gotten quite a lot done in this time. And it's, well, since I'm doing it every row instead of every other, it's very, very repetitive. I don't really have to think at all, which is good. But there's still some little bit of interest, which isn't really compared to the charity sweater that I'm knitting on. It's completely not interesting at the moment, so this is a bit better. Did I say what I thought about that? Yes, I think so. So the handbrake cowl by Dan Jones, but it's in association with his wife, who is K.F. Jones on Ravelry. So check it out if you haven't. And they are Kay and Dan of the Bakery Bears podcast, which is a lovely podcast, and they are hilarious. So check them out if you haven't. I believe that I saw on Instagram that they were recording today or yesterday, so I believe they have an episode coming up as well. So check them out if you haven't. They're really good. So that is my last work in progress. This, for those of you who might be stalking me, in November, I think, I did show you my entire stash. And this yarn was not in it. So, if you have been with me since then, and you have a very good memory, you might be thinking that must be new, and yes, it is. I did pick this yarn up this week. As I said, I believe I have 5 skeins of this lilac. Oh, it's just a little bit washed out on my screen, but yeah. And well, my plan to begin with is just to knit this cowl and see how big I want to make it. And if there is a significant amount of yarn left, I will do something, but I don't really have any other plans for it. But I bought, an extra ball just to not be short. And then I have my extra blue ones in here as well. And then I did pick up these. So those are the exact same as well, but it's a bit of a pink, a pink yarn. And then I picked up this, which really is the exact same as well, but it's another name. It's Irene. So they are both, Birgit and Irene are women's names or girls' names, but if I heard these names, I would guess that they were older women. So it's the same. It's 100% cotton. It's the same weight and same length. So I'm just guessing that since this is, I'm guessing it will turn out to be striping, self-striping if you hit the right circumference. So these variegated yarns anyway, or variegated? Multicolored, I guess is another name, but it's the same yarn. So I'm thinking I want to do something with those. And that shows up way more blue than it looks in the skein, just because it's on the edge there. But like that. So I'm thinking I want to do something with that as well, which is also cotton, so I'm thinking for the summer. I'm thinking some sort of cowl, maybe a Mobius cowl with these. So those, I bought these this week. A lot of yarn, a lot of cotton yarn. So I have it all in this little wire bucket of cotton yarn. Except for the ones that I'm working from that are stacked with the other stuff in this one. Oh, the logic. Did I just shake you? Sorry if I did. Yes, that is what I'm working on. I found a new podcast this week. I believe she had 5 episodes up, so it's a new podcast, and it was brand new to me this week. The podcast is called, and I just blanked. I went back and looked through the episodes. Oh, come on. And now this won't respond. I believe she never said her name. I'm not sure. I might have been focusing, I might have dropped a stitch when she said it or something. But I think that she never said her name, and you can guess it on her username on Instagram, YouTube. But I'm thinking if she didn't say it and there might be a reason why she didn't, then I'm not gonna, run around the YouTubes giving her name. Why is this so slow? I just want to check what it was called. Work with me. The phone, it's not the, yes, close it. It's not my internet that is slow this time, it's my actual phone. That just told me, oh, there's a problem, do you want to close? And I was, yeah, I do. Yeah, the Knitting Broomstick podcast. Knitting Broomstick podcast. If you search for that, I'm sure you'll find it. She is a young mom of 4, I believe. So there is, some baby wear going on, but not only. She is knitting and she is crocheting, and she is just delightful to listen to. She is very funny. She's sparkling. Check her out if you want to. She is awesome. So I had a very strong realization this week. I've touched upon this subject very briefly before, and so first up, I am aware that I have an international audience, and I don't really know anything about your situations, but I'm guessing that most of you are in a similar situation to me. So on Tuesday this week, I saw long convoys of military vehicles going into my town. So the Swedish defense, I don't know what they're called internationally, the military, they're having this big bomb exercise this week, or like Wednesday through Wednesday or something like that. Because when or if something happens, it will, probably not be in a remote place somewhere on the countryside. It will probably be within a city. So that is why they're having exercises. So I knew that, and I knew that when they were rolling in with all these trucks on Tuesday, I know that they were gonna set up for these exercises. And I didn't really know if that was kind of cool and exciting, or if that was a bit scary. And so I was trying to figure that out when I just, realized how thankful I am, how grateful I am, and how blessed I am to be in a situation where I do not... where military vehicles rolling in is not necessarily scary and frightening, and nor is it relief. I don't have to be scared. I don't have to be relieved. I don't have to be anything. And I just dropped half a stitch. Come on. And that is something, not the stitch, but the lack of war, really. That is something that I take for granted. I've never experienced a war, and excuse me, I very, very much hope that I will never have to do that. And as I said, I don't really know anything about your situations out there, and if any one of you are personally affected, I really hope, I mean, and I don't want to sneeze in this, I don't mean to be mocking or, you know, anything like that. I am just very grateful that I am not in anywhere near that situation, and I'm hoping that it will continue be like that. And that just struck me as such a powerful thankfulness, really. And then on Tuesday afternoon, me and my colleague were singing spring songs at a, oh, I really don't know this word. It's like a daycare for elderly, pretty much. And so we were singing spring songs, and we were talking about childhood memories from when we went on school trips or field trips with school. And some of the older ladies and men, gentlemen, were sharing their stories, and we had a good time. And then after, when we were done, when we were packing our stuff down away, this one lady, oh, excuse me, one of the ladies leaned over to talk to another lady, and was like, oh, this is so exciting, remembering all these things. And the other lady was like, no, I don't really like to remember that. And she was in a good mood, she was not grumpy, but she was like, no, not for me. I used to live in Germany. And I was just like, yeah, that's right. For me, thinking back to my childhood, sure, I went through stuff that I didn't think was that funny, sure. But you know, looking back is, I don't really have anything like that. And she was like, well, the bombings were the worst. When they flew over and dropped the bombs on Berlin. And I was like, whoa. So that, well, on Tuesday I just had this massive realization of how lucky I am and how grateful I am for that. And yeah, I've been thinking quite a lot of that this week, and yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but it was something that really struck me this week. And as I've said, I know that you guys are internationally spread out, and I don't really know anything about your situation, but I'm guessing most of you guys are also in a place where you can probably be more grateful than you are, you know. And I'm really not judging anyone or, you know, trying to hit you over the head or anything. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. But I've been thinking quite a lot this week. And then I want to talk about one of my favorite things. But I really want to finish this row. So I'm gonna do that. I talked about before how I kind of like to, when I'm doing something kind of like this, that is more or less plain, and I don't really have to look at it, I like to watch, excuse me, TV or series, because I don't have a TV, I watch on the computer, or podcasts, or movies, or whatever. I also kind of like to read. I still love audiobooks and audio podcasts as well. But sometimes, even though right at this moment I am reading, audiobook reading, one of the Lee Child books about Reacher. I don't remember what it's called, the one that I'm currently reading. No, I don't know, but it's good. I like Lee Child. And then physically, or what do you say, like book, I'm reading something completely different. And so even however good the Reacher book is, sometimes I just don't want to be reading that when I'm knitting. So I do have this, and I just finished the row. I have this book stand. I believe it's more or less thought to be for cookbooks. But then I just need to clear some space. You know how this is working, right? Oh, you can see my candy bag. Busted. It's Friday. And so I have this floppy fabric cover. Let me see if I can find because I'm sure this book is translated to Swedish from English. The Reacher book I'm reading in English, but this is... The original title is Walking Back to Happiness. So it's about dogs, pretty much. So I can put this book like that, and then I can knit and read and just flip the pages and continue reading. You might have spotted my, what do you say, bookmark? It's a little crocheted cake or pastry or something with a little marzipan rose and then some well, we call it pretty much cake paper in Swedish that you can have under, and then a little bead down there. It's getting a bit worn, but I've been using it a lot. So I'm really liking this, and this is obviously very mobile, movable, so I can have it here on the kitchen table. I could have it on the desk, or I could, you know, have it anywhere. Hallå. So that is one of my favorite things this week, absolutely. However, just really want to point out that audiobooks and audio podcasts and listening to stuff is still really a favorite thing. This has not... I mean, you can really like both. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It does not have to be one or the other, I'm telling ya. Yes, that is it, isn't it? So that is it for this week. Once again, I am sjomajlin on Instagram and on Ravelry and on YouTube, and get in contact with me if you want to. Have a good weekend and a good week, and be creative and be kind and take care, and I will see you next week. Hej då!